They say it's the best teacher. Circumstances vary across this landscape. But whether you're 18 years old or a little bit older.
Kevin, this is your 18 for you.
19.
Regardless of your experience, one thing you can't escape.
I think other people put expectations and pressures on me, and I'm just trying to come in and be the best that I can be.
Cooper! Go spin cycle the jam at home.
Future star or the old guard.
Kevin Durant, it's cold. This is why Houston needed Kevin Durant.
Same core, but want more.
The standards and the expectations have changed.
Can you meet them?
We've had a lot of success in the regular season, but I think now the motivation is only one thing.
Your next experience awaits.
Welcome into NBA Countdown. This is our crew for the 2025-26 season. We couldn't be more excited. Clearly, you can tell I lost my voice screaming about it, to watch hoops with you all year long. We have NBA champs Kendrick Perkins, head coach Michael Malone.
Championship head coach.
Our championship head coach and our champions of information and insight, our senior writer Brian Windhorst and our senior insider Shams Charania. Could not be more excited for this year with all of you. And we all know that the pursuit of championships, that is ultimately what this is all about. And we have seen an unprecedented 7 different teams win the title over the last 7 years. And if that number is going to get to 8, then there is a very good chance that a team in tonight's doubleheader right here on ESPN is going to make it happen. So let's get out and run, shall we? Starting with the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell having a career year, and Cleveland has the best odds in the East to win the title. Checking in on Cavs Corner. Why could this be the year?
Well, they play when they're at their healthiest, which they're not yet. They're a top 10 offensive team and a top 10 defensive team. They have an offensive playmaker that can win them a game in the playoffs. And Donovan Mitchell, they have a defensive playmaker that can be a difference-making player in the playoffs. And Evan Mobley. Do they have the toughness and the grit when it matters? That's the big question with this team. That and health will determine how far the Cavs go this year.
Donovan Mitchell will join us a little later in our show. Their opponent tonight, Kevin Durant and the Rockets. They aren't just 9-1 over their last 10 games. They're also in the top 5 in title odds. So, Coach, why are you excited about Houston?
Well, B. Windhorst over there talked about Cleveland. Well, Houston, they got the number 1 offense, number 5 defense. Alperen Sengun shown that he is a baby Jokic in the making, doing it all. Amen Thompson, first team All-NBA defender last year. And why they add Kevin Durant? They could not score in the first round loss against Golden State last year. You add one of the best scorers in NBA history. Things look good in Houston right now.
Well, you know who's ahead of the Rockets in the championship odds? Your guy, Perk, Big Body Brunson and the Knicks. New York hasn't seen an NBA title in 50 years. Could the drought end?
Well, it can, but it's going to have to be with their big fella, Karl Anthony Towns, who I believe is the most important piece on this New York Knicks team. And if he's willing to get his feet hot defensively consistently, especially in the Eastern Conference where they're loaded with bigs like Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Duren, and guys like that. So I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns as the key.
And then there are the Mavericks. So Dallas is actually the only team in tonight's 2 games to make the finals in the 2020s. But we all know what's transpired over the last 9 months to get the team to fall to 17th in title odds this season. Now, ESPN Analytics tells us that at this point in the year, the Mavs have a better chance, and again, it's early, but to repeat as the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 draft than they do to make the playoffs. So Shams, as the fallout from the Luka Doncic trade continues, how are the Dallas Mavericks planning on moving forward past this Nico Harrison era?
Malika, this franchise is moving away from Nico Harrison's 3 to 4 year championship window and toward trying to find sustained success and sustained growth around Cooper, Flagg, and youth. And to that end, sources have told ESPN that the Mavericks will be listening to trade calls for Anthony Davis and seeing and exploring his value. And for that, health will be the biggest key because not only for the Mavericks to evaluate Anthony Davis over a lengthy period of time, an extended period of time on the court, but for other teams that could have interest in him to see what he looks like when he's back, what this team looks like when he's back. A lot of evaluation to come around Anthony Davis the next couple of months.
What Shams just said could end up being one of the most important developments in the league this year. Here's why. Anthony Davis his value may not be as high as you think it is, because when you talk to people around the league, they say, hey, he's going to turn 33 later this year. He's due a contract extension potentially next summer. That might scare some teams away. And the fact that it's just harder for teams to trade. But the reason that could be interesting is that might bring the contenders into this. Teams that may not have been able to trade for Anthony Davis a year ago may be able to trade for him this year. And that could change the balance of power, Coach, in the Eastern Conference.
Hey, first of all, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
It's great to be back working with you, and first team All-NBA hair right here.
It's amazing. Coach, you're on my heels right now. I'm not gonna lie.
What about first team All Handsome?
Okay, perfect.
You talk about Dallas and you talk about Kyrie, you talk about AD and the injuries. If I'm Jason Kidd, right now my focus is on Cooper Flagg. Right, so much has been made, the number one pick in the draft. I think he has 5 straight games of 15 or more points as an 18-year-old. Let's not forget how young this kid is. So I can't worry about who's not available as a head coach. I have to focus on the task at hand, the guys I have at my disposal, and he is the future of this franchise. I don't know what's going to happen to Shams and Brian Point. I do know that Cooper Flagg is going to be there for many, many years, and we have to do everything we can to help that young man develop and nurture him along the way.
The Dallas Mavericks are a joke. They're a joke. They are, the most embarrassing organization in sports. They are, right now. They're the most embarrassing organization in sports. Dysfunctional at its finest when you look at what's going on in that organization. This used to be an organization that people used to want to run to. Now this has become an organization where people is running away from. And when you think about trading your international superstar, Rob Pelinka, trading away, a used Volvo to get back a Rolls Royce, and then all of a sudden you fire Nico Harrison, right? And then you come down and you look at this situation where they're talking about, possibly going away from Anthony Davis. What is really going on in Dallas? It's called lack of leadership. It's called embarrassment. It's called dysfunctional. And it's a damn shame because this organization has been one of the best organizations in the league in my eyes when it was ran under the proper ownership and ran by the proper front office.
Well, Coach, you just said Cooper Flagg's name. Sources just told me Cooper Flagg will miss his first game of his NBA career tonight against the New York Knicks. He's been feeling sick over the last 48 hours. We know he's been banged up as well, his thumb, his shoulder. He has averaged 17 points a game since moving to 4, but he will be out tonight.
When you
He's
feel
out
sick with all this going on, wouldn't you be sick?
Cooper Flagg's missing this first game here tonight. All right, Shams, thank you so very much for that insight. You know who we will see, though? We're going to see Donovan Mitchell.
Spida.
He's dropped at least 30 points in 8 games this season. I caught up with him before tonight's game, and that's coming up next right here on NBA Countdown.
My game. Moving, creator, playmaker.
It's the Mitchell effect.
Athletic scorer.
Donovan Mitchell.
Look out, he is. Spartan Mitchell.
I'm trying to ball. Hell yeah, I want it all when you come from none. Pretty how could I not be cocky? I ain't never been.
Someone that really, does whatever it takes to win a game.
Oh, Donovan. He's going up to the top. The boy can fly like a ride in Disneyland.
I would say my signature move is probably the over the top.
What a move. It's Mitchell.
I learned it from D-Wade and Kyrie.
Oh, my! This is his house!
D-Wade used to dunk it. Just kind of do my own little version of it.
Because they don't see all of the hard work. They just see all the results.
Donovan Mitchell has been balling this season, averaging just a hair under 31 points per game right now, which is good for 5th in the entire league. And he leads the Cavs as they have an early season test against a red-hot Rockets team. Now, I caught up with him before he arrived to the arena. Take a listen. We're now joined by 6-time All-Star Donovan Mitchell. Donovan, thank you so much for taking the time.
Well, I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming on the show because you are playing at a bananas level this season. You're averaging a career high in points per game, just under 31 here. Is this something where you came into the year maybe with a different focus and intention?
Yeah, I think obviously Max and DG go down, right? And you understand that there's going to be more expected out of you. I was already planning on taking another step in my game, but I think now even more so, it's like, okay, those guys are out. More is expected of me. You got to go out there and kind of just set the tone. And I've always been a scorer. Now the biggest thing is being efficient in all facets of the game.
The Rockets, they're in Cleveland. They currently have the number 1 ranked offense in the league. A lot of it is thanks to the addition of Kevin Durant. I've never played against KD. For those of us who haven't, can you just describe what's it like going up against him?
I mean, yeah, he's an all-time great, right? He's a guy that can easily win you games, keep you in games, bring you back into games. You saw that against Orlando the other night. You know, he wasn't really shooting it well and finally hit his first three with a few minutes to go. And the next thing you know, his next 3 shots were all dagger shots. And they got Sengun, who's playing phenomenally. Amen Thompson, who's a stud. They got a lot of talent, a lot of size. So when you go against a guy like KD with what he has around him, they're going to be a tough matchup, but we're ready and we're excited to go.
I think this is some of the best basketball that I have seen you play. And there's a good chance Amen Thompson is going to be guarding you at least at some point in this game. Can you describe that challenge?
I mean, yeah, he's athletic. He matches you in strength. Some of the things he does on the floor is just, you know, you haven't seen it from any athlete, maybe like Vince Carter, right? But, you know, I think for a guy like myself, just take what the defense gives me. Don't try to press, just continue to be myself, be who I am. And also you got to respect your opponent. You got to respect the level of talent he is, but also be who I am myself.
Don, let's end here if we could. You've been a winning player for your entire career, whether it's in Utah, Cleveland. In fact, you have the best win percentage, for those who follow things like that, of any player in NBA history to never make a conference finals. When you hear something like that, what motivation does it give you to say, you know what, I can do it at any level. I'm going to get there.
Yeah, it's all work. It's all the process, right? It's all like there's so many. You could say, oh, Michael Jordan never got to the finals until his 8th year. I'm not saying I'm Michael Jordan, but what I'm saying is everybody's road is different. I've had opportunities to get there. I've fallen short. I've been injured. There's been expectations where there's so many different scenarios, but every road is different, right? But I'm not going to stop being who I am. I'm not going to stop the work I'm doing because at the end of the day, the work always prevails. Right? Like I always believe that, and I'm going to continue to be 10 toes down in the work and helping being the best leader for this group because I believe in not only myself, but everybody in this locker room. And I know who I am as a player. I know what I bring to the table, and ultimately that will definitely prevail. And ideally it's this year. But you know, I mean, that's just something that for me, I'm always believing in myself and my teammates believe in me and, you know, going out there being the best leader I can be.
I think that's a message that can extend far beyond just sports or pursuing a championship. That self-belief is always the ingredient you need. Well, I'm not going to ask you about the Browns. We won't do that today. But I really appreciate the time here, Don. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, if he wants to be a champ, is going to be chasing the Oklahoma City Thunder, and we have them on our air as part of the NBA Cup continuing on Thanksgiving Eve. First, we have the Pistons and the Celtics to begin the day. Then you get to see the champs against the Timberwolves, and then end the evening with the Rockets and the Warriors. That's at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific. It all starts with NBA Countdown at 4:30. That's next week. Before KD's return to the Bay, though, he leads the Rockets' #1 offense against the 9th-ranked Cavaliers defense. But the big question is, how exactly will it look? Well, lucky for us, we're sending Coach into the world of virtual reality to show us exactly what to expect, our VR breakdown technology. You've seen it before on NFL Live, and now you're going to see it right here on NBA Countdown. We have a new segment here on NBA Countdown. It is called Court Vision, and we're very excited to share it with all of you. It's been months in the making, and you can see Coach is wearing this very nifty VR headset. It's going to help us dive into the game and into the breakdown in a whole new way. So we thought we would start right here on this little 2-man action that you're seeing between Kevin Durant and Alperen Sengun that opens up this dunk here for Amen Thompson. So, Coach, let's dive into the play. What do you see?
Well, you got to talk about the Rockets, the great start they've had, Malika. 9-1 their last 10 games. They've won 4 games in a row. #1 offense, as I mentioned, yes, because they're the #1 3-point shooting team, and they rebound like no other team in the league history. But for me, a big part of that chemistry between Alperen Sengun and Kevin Durant, the 2-man game, how quickly they've created that on-court chemistry, it's been really fun to watch it develop. And I have 2 examples right here. In this first clip, you're going to see the Rockets come up the floor here. They love having Sengun as their trail big, great facilitator. Amen Thompson's going to give me 5 as he goes by. And Freezer right here. So Thompson's now in the dunker where he's one of the best players in the NBA working out of that dunker. And Kevin Durant comes off this high pick and roll. He's done his job. He's engaging Daniel Gafford. And now as we run this, he's going to make this pocket pass to Sengun and then freeze it one more time. You can see poor Max Christie right here. He's got a decision to make. Amen Thompson, stud athlete, great finisher, and Sengun having a career best year. Getting run this clip as he steps up the floor. Sengun, easy, on time, on target pass, and Amen Thompson does the rest for an easy 2. Just one example of how effective KD and Alpi have started this season with.
Yeah, I love that. I love that we felt like we were in the game. And then right here, it's also Kevin Durant as the facilitator. It's not just Alperen Sengun. So I'd love to be able to go again back into this play, Coach, and see this from your point of view.
Well, this is another example as the Rockets come up the floor. They're going to get into an early post-up, and Kevin Durant realizes he has Max Christie guarding him, all right? So freeze it right here. The floor is spaced. All the Rockets are outside the three-point line. Alpi is that post feeder, and KD has got the mismatch that he wants in the post. So Sengun is going to make this post feed to KD. KD's looking really swollen these days, hitting the weights. Now Sengun is going to cut through. And as he cuts through, freeze it right here again. Gafford comes, big double team. He realizes Max Christie can't guard Kevin Durant by himself. But now you look at it. KD reads the double team, doesn't force the issue, getting run this clip. KD finds Sengun, catches the ball around 3 different Mavericks players. Shot fake, step through, and an easy 2 impressive finish for Alpi. Just another example, Malika, of how effective KD and Alpi are playing off of each other and for each other.
I felt like I was right there standing on the baseline. And I love that you're wearing the same suit as your avatar is wearing, looking spiffy. Well, with the addition of Kevin Durant to the Rockets, their offense, it's turned into a juggernaut here. They lead the league in several offensive categories, including offensive efficiency, 3-point shooting, percentage that is, and then offensive rebounds per game and second chance points per game. That was an awesome breakdown, Coach. But the defensive player of the year is standing on the other side here against this Houston Rockets offense. It's going to be interesting to see the way these two match up. We're going to talk about that on the other side of this break.
When you have a guy like him, you can put it in his hands at times and he can deliver like he has throughout his whole career.
Durant on top. Durant pulling back.
Just try to live up to what those past legends have accomplished here. For us, it's a foot on the throat mentality, keeping the team down when they're down. That's the ultimate test.
Over the top. Mitchell behind the back. Oh, goodness.
Stop playing with me.
Welcome back to NBA Countdown, presented by Popeyes.
Donovan Mitchell looking to lead his team in this early season test against the Houston Rockets. Coach, what's the matchup that you're going to be keeping an eye on here?
Hey, he better get his mind right. You got Amen Thompson, who held him 1 for 10 last year in their matchups. Amen, first team All-NBA. Donovan having a great season, 31 points, 50-plus from the field. That is a matchup I'm keying in on. 2 premier perimeter players. Donovan Mitchell, we know how talented he is, how efficient he's been, getting to the foul line, knocking down threes. He's going to have a big night for their Cavaliers to have a chance to get this win against a really talented Houston team.
Well, Coach, I'm going in the trenches, right? And that's the knock on the Cavs. They're too soft. And when you look at Evan Mobley, you look at Jarrett Allen, you look at their rebounder, neither one of those guys are averaging double-figure rebounds. Well, they're going against the best offensive rebounding team in the league, led by Steven Adams, who's, by the way, 6th in NBA history in offensive rebounding. And so when you look at the growth of Alperen Sengun, we call him Baby Jokic for a reason. 23 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. And so when you look at the way he's able to dominate, I'm trying to see, is Evan Mobley going to protect his crib, right? Or you going to let him walk in there with dirty shoes and kick his feet up on the coffee table?
And you mentioned Steven Adams. I don't know about kicking his feet up, but I do know that he's going to be in the starting lineup for this one, Brian.
Yeah, Steven Adams averaging 5 offensive rebounds in 21 minutes a game. My God. Watch for the Cavs tonight to maybe make a little adjustment for Evan Mobley. They are really trying to get more out of him. During this season, they've been playing him in the first and third quarters, the first 7 or 8 minutes, and giving him a break. Last year, they played him about 5 minutes and brought him out. So I would not be surprised if we see a little rotation switch tonight to try to get a little bit more energy from Evan Mobley late in the game.
I got one question. I'm going to ask it to you as a big man. The thing I noticed watching Evan Mobley this year, he's settling and taking a lot more threes. So his 3-point attempts are up. His layups and dunks are way down. How do you feel that as a big? Are you comfortable with your starting power forward shooting as many threes and perimeter jump shots?
I'm not. And I think the problem is that Evan Mobley got to go back to remembering he's a big with guard skills. We're seeing him too much isolation on the wing, bringing the ball up. I think when you talk about the 2-man game, go back to that 2-man game. I want to see more pick and roll with him and
They
Donovan
also
Mitchell.
miss Darius Garland.
I know.
Darius Garland gets him a couple easy baskets a game.
But Donovan Mitchell could do the same.
Well,
That's
see if we can
the
do it
problem,
against
isn't
this Houston Rockets team.
The Last thing they're missing, Ty Jerome. Cavaliers bench this year is bottom 5 in almost every category. They don't have a lot of juice off that bench.
That's going to do it for us for now. Hey, Jonesy, I hope you sound better than me. Take it away.